at all. Just don't worry about it. That's all. I'll take care of it. He's picked on the wrong guy. Listen, you'll be mighty sorry you brought me back into town, I'm telling you. You picked on the wrong guy this time, Clem.
Name ain't Clem, it's Andy. Andy Taylor. Have your driver's license?
Yeah, you can have my driver's license, and you'll kindly take a look at my name. You'll discover that I'm somebody.
Well, you know I knew that the minute I laid eyes on you.
Huh?
Yes, sir. I never seen a car yet that wasn't being driven by somebody.
Look, you want to ad-lib with me, Hayseed?
Honey, why don't you stop arguing? After all, you did go through a stop sign.
But there was no road there. Whoever heard of a stop sign where there's no road?
Well, now, the town council did vote to put a road in there. I believe about 6 years ago, I believe it was. Only trouble is, so far, we just raised enough money for the stop sign.
It's just a tourist trap, that's all. Just a tourist trap. Soak the poor city slicker. Wait till I get in front of the Justice of the Peace. I'll give him a piece of my mind. I'll tell him what kind of an officer he's got working for him, a Jesse James with a badge.
Well, I reckon you can tell the Justice of the Peace if you want to.
Well, I reckon I won't do.
Well, he's a fair-minded kind of a fellow, and if he figures that I did wrong, why, he'll probably tell me off pretty good.
That'll be music to my ears, too. Look, where's the Justice of the Peace? Let's get it over with. I got a few things I'd like to say to him.
Well, now, Mr. Williams, you better simmer down there a little bit. You better not be flapping your lip at the Justice of the Peace the way you've been doing at me, because you'll liable to hurt the dignity of his office, you know. And when the dignity of the Justice of the Peace's office gets hurt, why, the size of the fine is where the swelling shows up.
Absolutely right, Dad.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, honey, why don't you pay the fine and let's get on our way?
Not before I have said what I've come to say to the Justice of the Peace. Now, where is he? Let's get going here.
Well, now, just easy. Don't get excited. He'll be along in just a tiny old second. Court's in order. What's your complaint?
This whole thing is a farce. If the sheriff who arrested me and the judge who tries me are the same man, how are we going to get a fair trial?
Why, the fairest trial in the world. After all, now, just tell the truth. Who is in a better position than me to tell whether that fine, tall, honest, good-looking young sheriff of ours really does tell the truth?
What are you laughing at?
I don't know, honey. It just strikes me funny.
Well, that doesn't strike me as funny.
Oh, hello, Will.
I'm under arrest.
What's that all about?
Well, that's Will Hoople, town drunk.
Why did he come in here and...
Oh, well, see, I don't know for how long. I used to have to arrest Will every day for being drunk on the public streets, and, well, it just got to be a nuisance for both of us. So one day I caught him accidentally sober, and I says, Will, this arresting you for being drunk all the time is just cutting into my time, something terrible. So I says, how about me just deputizing you so you can arrest yourself? That's what we done. Yes, we done that, and it's worked out fine for both of us. And I must say that he's never let me down. No. Drunker than a skunk every single day.
You mean he's always been like that?
No, just since his pa died.
Oh, the poor fella. You mean his father's death drove him to becoming the town drunk?
No, not exactly. See, before he passed on, his pa was the town drunk. So you see, the position just wasn't open.
Look, till we get this small-town chit-chat over with, I got to get back to New York. You know, I'm an entertainer, and I'm on a famous interview program, Ted Parker's Face to Face.
Is that right?
That's television, but I'm sure you haven't heard about television in these parts. Now, what's the fine? Let's get going here.
Oh, ordinary case of this kind, $5.
$5 fine, that'll be fine.
Ooh-wee, that's quite a roll you got there.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is.
You always carry that much
That
money?
has nothing to do with it. Did you say $5? They got a $5 bill right there. Here you are.
Now, sometimes even 10.
Here, be my guest. 10, big deal. And here's another 5. Go buy yourself a comb and rake the hayseed out of your hair.
You know what's the truth? I got me a feeling this is kind of a special case.
What?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
So that'll just be $100 or 10 days in jail.
What?
Well, that's about the size of it.
It's highway robbery, that's what it is. You just said yourself the average case is 5, maybe 10.
Well, I don't believe this is an average case, though.
No, because I'm not carrying an average bankroll. Well, you're not going to get away with it, buddy. You're just not going to get away with it. No, I am going to expose you.
Expose me?
Yes, sir. When I get back to New York, I'll expose you to the press, to the newspapers. That's right. I'd call a paper right here if you had one in this little Hickville.
You know that we have?
What?
We got a outstanding paper here. Mayberry Gazette.
Mayberry Gazette.
That's right.
I demand to make a phone call. I have a right to make a phone call. Even a murderer has a right to one phone call.
Well, help yourself.
I do thank you.
Yes, sir. Want to sit down?
Thanks a lot. I don't mind.
Danny!
Never mind, honey. There's a principal involved here. I'll tell him what a crooked politician you are. I'll break you, that's what I'll do. Hello, operator.
Name's Sarah.
Hello, Sarah. Would you please get me the Mayberry Gazette, please? The Mayberry Gazette. I'll show him. There never was a crooked politician that could fight the press. Lover, will you please leave me alone?
Mayberry Gazette, editor speaking.
Well, anyway, Ted, this imitation Wyatt Earp hits me with $100 or 10 days. And that's why I can't be on your TV show. No, I sent the wife and kids on ahead. Ted, you're as bad as my wife. It's not the $100. It's the principle of the thing here. I will not be intimidated by this backwoods racketeer with a badge. He's sitting right here, holding a knife on me. Get the story to the newspapers, will you? Better yet, tell it on your TV show. What? Oh, Teddy. Oh, what an idea. You think you could do it? No, fool. Oh, you are a genius. Oh, that'll be sensational. You'll win an award for that. I'll see you. Oh, are you in trouble?
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't need your Mayberry Gazette to expose you. I have got a television show. 40 million people are going to know about you, buddy.
Is that a fact?
That's right. We're going to do the face-to-face show right from this jail. You're going to be on TV, too.
Oh, no. You go ahead, but I can't talk on that
No,
thing.
you can't talk. I'll talk to both of you.
You know, Mr. Williams, you ought to eat more. This is the 3rd day in a row that you didn't eat most of your supper.
I ate the bread and drank the water.
But look, Yon, you didn't eat the turkey, nor the dressing, nor the blueberry muffins. Look at that. You know, you're liable to walk out of here skinnier than you come in, and that sure is bad advertising for me.
There's nothing compared to the bad advertising you're going to get when that television crew rolls the equipment in here, and we go on TV, and I tell the whole nation what an ornery, greedy critter you are. And no amount of turkey, the sweet potatoes, or anything else are going to get me to take it easy on you. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a draft in here.
That boy's a sight.
Oh,
Opie, what is it?
Turtle.
Wilfred, what in the world is the matter with him?
He's dead. He's been murdered. That's what murdered.
Oh, Opie. Now, I wouldn't hardly think that. As long as I've been knowing Wilfred, I never did know him to have any enemies.
I was in the ice cream parlor, and Mrs. Bolivar stepped on him, and she didn't even stop. Just kept on walking.
Hit and run, huh? Said as Miss Bolivar?
I want you to arrest her, Pa, and we'll give her a fair trial.
You can't take it out on Miss Bolivar just 'cause you feel bad. She didn't mean it. I expect it was just Wilfred's turn to go. And we have to learn to live with our sorrows, boy. I learned that when you was just a little bitty speck of a baby. When I lost your ma, just like you lost Wilfred here.
You did?
That's right.
Who stepped on Mom?
Well, I didn't mean it just that way, old thing. Now, you dry up them eyes there. Dry 'em up good. And tomorrow morning, before sun up, I'll go down to the creek and I'll get you a new turtle.
I don't want a new turtle. I want Wilford.
No, now, you can't be that way.
You didn't get a new Ma.
No, I didn't. I tell you what, boy. This evening after I get home from work, we'll take Wilford out, and we'll give him the finest burial any turtle ever had. I'll make a long, sad talk over it, sing a couple of songs, and then we'll barbecue some ribs. And I'll tell you a tale about how a turtle, one time way back off up in the mountains, beat a rabbit in a foot race. Now, how's that set with you?
That's just fine, Pa.
All right, now you go on home and tell Aunt Lucy I says to give you a great big old bottle of pop to drink, you hear?
Gee, thanks, Pa. Bye.
Bye. Now act like somebody.
I will.
It's your son, huh?
Yeah, I got that one boy.
Cute.
Well, much obliged.
Kids, they sure can be a lot of trouble, can't they?
Yeah, they can sometimes, but kind of trouble a fella kind of gets a lift out of wrestling with.
Listen, Andy.
Hmm?
I've been thinking, look, why don't we settle this thing? You bring the fine down to something reasonable, and I'll find out a way to cut off this face-to-face TV show. What do you say?
You wouldn't be trying to blackmail me, would you, Mr. Williams? See, the fine for
Never
blackmail...
mind. I'm sorry I brought it up. Being my old sentimental heart. Well, just forget all about it. Wait till I get on TV. I'm going to tear you apart.
Why, Henrietta Perkins, how in the world are you?
Well, that depends on what you wanted to see me about.
Well, now, you just sit down here and rest. Henrietta, you know, this is the second year in a row that you ain't paid your taxes. Now, I sure wouldn't want to see 'em sell your place right out from under you.
Oh, Andy. Well, I ain't never spoke to a soul about this. But since the law's getting after me, I guess I gotta. I can't pay my taxes on account of the full dress suit I buried my poor husband in.
How's that?
Well, you know what a failure poor sweet Charlie was. All his life. That's why I wanted him to wear that elegant suit at his funeral, so that at least he could look successful at his own funeral. And he did. He looks kind of dashing in that full dress suit.
Well, now, under the conditions that he is wearing it, I don't believe dashing's quite the word. Thing like that kind of takes the dash out of the fella. But he did look distinguished.
Well, anyways, I couldn't afford to buy no full dress suit, so I rented one from Mr. Johnson's hand-me-down store, and I meant to tell the undertaker afterwards that I had to return the suit, but I just clean forgot it.
Yeah.
So he buried him in it. And ever since then, I've been paying Mr. Johnson 50 cents a day rent.
50 cents a day? For 2 years? Why, that's more than $350. But the darn suit probably didn't cost more than $50 brand new.
I know, but that mean old man threatened to tell everybody how my poor Charlie got buried in a rented suit. How he was such a failure that even in his grave he was a-piling up unpaid bills.
Well, that ornery old scoundrel. You've been bilking Henrietta Perkins out of 50 cents a day for 2 years.
Oh, you mean about that full dress suit?
Uh-huh.
Well, as long as she don't return it, I keep on getting paid for it. Husband's had it 2 years now.
Well, now, let's be reasonable about this thing. This ain't like the ordinary case. I mean, you will admit that there ain't no wear and tear on the suit in this situation. What I mean is, most folks, when they rent a full dress suit, they rent it to go to big parties, now, don't they?
So?
Well, I believe you'll admit that Charlie ain't been spilling any drinks on it.
No, I guess he ain't.
No. And he's been doing very little dancing in it.
Well, practically none, I'd say, yes.
You might say that Charlie has kind of had this suit on the layaway plan.
Yes, you could say that.
Yeah, you
Yes,
could. So now, giving you by far the best of it, let's say when Charlie got this suit, there's maybe, 100 more rentals in it. That's $50.
So?
So you refund the rest to Henrietta Perkins, and we're willing to forget the whole thing.
Refund more than $300? Why, you're playing fetch, Taylor. You're just hollering down a rain barrel. No, sir, you ain't got no case. No.
No?
No.
Well, it so happens that the only proof of the whole darn transaction is this your invoice copy here that says one full dress suit for Charlie Perkins, and it's in your handwriting.
So?
So you've been doing business with a dead man. And according to the law, any person who engages in a financial transaction with a person that he knows not to be in his right mind is guilty of a fraud. Now, I believe you'll admit that old Charlie wasn't in his right mind. In fact, he wasn't in his mind at all, was he? So, are you going to settle up, or are you going to go to jail for fraud and old widow?
But
now, let's see. What is the penalty for defrauding poor old widows?
All right. Never mind. I'll settle. Oh, I can't make an honest living anymore. I'll give you the money in the morning.
Looks like you're not the only Simon Legree in this town. That fellow Johnson one of your pupils?
Mayberry's a mighty fine town, Mr. Williams, but I reckon there's bound to be a few rotten apples in every barrel.
Yeah, there's a rotten apple right here in this courthouse.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Williams. Ain't no use to run yourself down like that.
I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about you, and wait till I get on television. I'll really do some talking to the whole nation. I'll tell them what a greedy graft you are. I'm going to rake you over the coals. Yes, sir. I'm going to have me some southern fried politicians. So you see, Ted, in my own humble way, I'm taking a stand against tyranny and injustice. And I'm grateful to you and your television show for giving me the opportunity to expose this tyrant, who is the sheriff, the justice of the peace, the editor of the newspaper, and heaven knows what else in this town. Practically a one-man Gestapo. And if there is anything that our great country with its tradition of freedom and justice opposes, it is dictatorship. And rather than surrender to it, I will languish here in this cold, damp, dirty cell for the duration of my sentence.
Well, that's very commendable of you, Danny, and I'm sure the people listening in...
Now, wait just a darn minute. Excuse me for talking ugly. I hadn't figured to do any talking tall, but when he says that he's languishing in a cold, damp, dirty cell, I am obliged to point out that not only ain't accurate, but that's just downright insulting my Aunt Lucy that cleans this place every morning. What's the matter with you? She's the cleanest woman you ever laid eyes on. It ain't been a year that she ain't won the shirt washing contest down at the county fair.
Ask him what's that got to do with socking me $100 on a $5 violation. Go on, ask him.
How about that, Mr. Taylor?
You take Mr. Williams here. Just as I'm getting set to fine him $5, he takes out this great big roll of money, and he says to me with his nose in the air, and that takes in a mess of sky. He says, all right. He says, let's get it over with. He says, how much is it? $5? $10? See, a little old $5 or $10 bill couldn't have meant less to Mr. Williams. So I just had to heavy up the price so he'd feel the weight of the law a little bit, Daddy.
Well, do you mean you have different standards of punishment for big people than for little people?
Well, why not? It appears to me a great big entertainer like Mr. Williams here influences a lot of people. They look up to him, admire him, maybe even follow the example he sets. So the way I see it, a big man has got more of a responsibility to obey the law and respect the folks who enforce it, even though they might be what he calls rubes and hicks.
Is that what Mr. Williams called you?
Sometimes. And other times he is downright rude. See, Mr. Williams here feels that he's the victim of cruel and unjust punishment, and that's not what I had in mind at all. See, Mr. Williams seemed to be in a powerful hurry. That may be why he didn't see that stop sign. Yes, Mr. Williams and a lot of folks like him seem to be in a big hurry, and it's a shame. It's a pity, because there's a whole lot of fine country to be seen between the city that he left from and the city he's going to. And between them two cities, there's a lot of mighty good folks to meet and a lot of wonderful experiences to be had by a fellow that will take the time, to appreciate it. So, I don't know. I was just trying to slow Mr. Williams down a little bit.
Well, I just...
Ted,
Yes, Danny?
could I say something?
Well, certainly, Danny. In fact, I'm glad one of us has something to say.
Well, not very much, except I'd like to apologize to Andy for being a biller and city slicker. I'm sorry, Andy. I had you all wrong.
Oh, thank you a lot, Danny. I didn't have you wrong, though, because like I say, I had an idea you'd be plumb decent once you got around to it. Bye. Oh, wait 1 minute.
Yeah.
I believe you forgot something.
What's that?
Let's see. The fine was $100 or 10 days in jail, and you spent 3 days. I believe you still owe us $70.
Wayback Machine 1.